Hi, hello again. It's Amy the Baker here, and we are going to be doing something a little bit different. My original plan was to film the making of the cheesecake, but I asked my partner, and because he was home, and he said he'd feel awkward. He said that I could edit him out, but he was uncomfortable, so obviously I don't want to make him uncomfortable. Hopefully one day, if I keep doing this, he'll warm up to being on video. But I have a slice here. Look at this deliciousness, and some coffee, some much needed coffee. Oh my gosh, I just got Bubba down. He's not the fondest of napping. As always, the recipe will be in the description below. That's not what we're really here to talk about, so let's just get into it. And yes, this is the spoon I use to stir my coffee. Taste test? Just kidding, I already tasted it. It's freaking amazing. So good, but it's so rich. I can't wait. Cinnamon rolls and cheesecake, my two favorite things in one. It's a beautiful combination. And the coffee, oh, look at my mug. So where to start? My partner and I have been together now for 4 years, which is insane. And it's funny because our anniversary is kind of technically February 29th, so the leap year, right? So really we've only had one anniversary, and it was this one. We celebrate March 1st typically. He was working, so we postponed it to his days off. And he made pasta and broccoli, which is basically like butter noodles, but 10 times better because there's broccoli and chicken in it. And I made this. Eating on camera feels weird. So I don't know if we'll do more mukbangs, but what do you guys think? My last video got 9 views, so I'm hoping this one gets at least 10. That's my goal for this video, is 10 views. I don't want to stop eating it, it's so good. I guess I should put it in the frame. Wow. That's how the mukbangers do it, right? That's my scrunchie. My partner and I met like almost 5 years ago now, when we were working together up in Calgary. But he was in a relationship at the time, and I was in some situationships on and off with a couple of different people. I was the pastry chef. He was just some plebeian cook that came over from the sister restaurant when the sister restaurant flooded, and I didn't really pay him much mind, if I'm being honest. Then in the new year, I was out of a job, and that was my plan. I wasn't going to work. I was going to sit on EI. Maybe I shouldn't post this, just admitting to fraud. It's not really fraud. I worked those hours, I contributed, and I couldn't work. The restaurant I was working at closes in the winter anyways. I don't know if they still do, but they were closing like January, and this year they closed January, February, March for repairs. And so I was on EI, and then I got a letter in the mail. That is not food on my chin, by the way. It's an open wound that I picked in my face. I got a letter in the mail basically saying, you have to prove to us you're looking for a job, even though I wasn't, because I was moving and I knew that I was moving soon. So I was like, I'm not gonna try to look for a job when I'm moving in 2 months, like when my lease is up. But I got this letter in the mail, like, you need to prove that you're looking for a job or we're gonna take away your EI and you have to like go to this class and stuff. And at the time I was in counseling because I was like having a really fucking hard time. And I went to her and I was like, the only option I have is to go to the sister restaurant and work there. And she kind of talked me off the ledge, and she's like, no, you don't have to do that. Like, go to the class, hand out some resumes, write down the things you did, and they won't take away your EI. And I'd already scheduled this stage at the sister restaurant. So I was like, wow, see, this is my problem. I'm either like talking or I'm eating. And so I can't be a mukbanger. I mean, I'm not opposed to doing mukbangs, but I feel like it'd be better with someone else. So you could like go back and forth where one person's talking, and then, is that how they do them? I don't really watch them. I just kind of know mildly what the lore is. Anyways, I'm adding way too many side details about the story of how my partner and I met, because we've been together for 4 years, and if I add that much detail to every little crevice of our relationship, this video will be 4 hours long. An hour for each year of our relationship. So I'll speed things up. I had a stage scheduled at the sister restaurant that he was now back working at, and he was single now. So I go in, do the stage. I realize this job, even if I wanted to take it, it's not for me. It's too much chaos. But him and I decided to go out for drinks afterwards with another one of his coworkers. And the rest is history. We closed down like 3 bars, and then we went and got shawarma at like 4 in the morning, wandering downtown Calgary in the winter, finding this shawarma place when we were just absolutely shit-faced. And then we go back to my place. Nothing happened, and nothing was going to happen. We just didn't want the night to end. And so he comes back to my place and we smoke a little bit of weed, and it's legal in Canada, so don't even. And suddenly he just starts freaking out. Like, I could tell his complete disposition changed and he was not okay. The first tell was that he was like tweaking a little bit, and then he looked at me and asks for some water. He's like, "I'm very parched." And just the way he said it, I was like, bro, are you okay? So I get him some water and he drinks it, and then we're kind of just sitting like not really talking. And it was awkward as hell. And I was like, "Are you okay?" He's like, "Not really." And I was like, "Do you need to go home?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm sorry." And I was like, "Don't be sorry. It's like 5:30 in the morning. Like, you don't have to be sorry." Cheesecake. Yeah, that was the start of a whirlwind romance. We ended up seeing each other like every day after that, forming this super deep connection. But he was moving back to his hometown. He was currently still living with his ex, so he was moving back to his hometown to kind of get away from that. And I was moving back to my hometown, and they were on opposite ends of Canada. So he left and I left, and then we were both in our hometowns and kind of on and off about if we wanted to keep going. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, the beginning of our relationship was also the beginning of COVID. We decided to just go balls to the wall, and he moved to my hometown for about a month and a half, and then we both moved to Vancouver together, and we lived there for a year and a month, so 13 months. And that was crazy. He got this job at this little restaurant in Yaletown, and I got a job in False Creek, and we were living downtown, like right next to Granville Street, kind of closer to False Creek, like near the water. It was about a 10-minute walk down to the water, which was amazing. We probably would have stayed there longer if it wasn't for my disability. After living there and working there for a year, I realized that no matter how much rehabilitation I do or surgeries I get, being a pastry chef is just not in the cards for me. So then we decided to move back to my hometown, and that's where we have been since. I have to give it up to my partner because he's really been my ride or die. Like, he had a great job up in Vancouver, and he definitely could have stayed up there and done that or found a different job or whatever. And he's a very, very talented cook. He gave that up to be with me. I can't express like how grateful I am for that. Coffee. We've been back in my hometown now for like 2 years. We used my settlement money from my car accident that disabled me to buy this house. Knowing that that money was coming, and knowing that we were going to be able to afford a place to live and a place to like really call our own, gave us the sort of final push justification to try to have a kid. And that's when we started trying, and we got pregnant almost instantly. I was not expecting that. And now we have a 4-month-old baby and a house and a very loving and happy relationship. But that's not the whole story, is it? Because no relationship is perfect. No relationship just starts with a whirlwind romance where you follow each other to the ends of the earth and come back from it stronger. You don't have that kind of story without turmoil as well. And we've faced our fair share of toxicity and insecurity and near breakups. But through it all, we've chosen each other, and we've decided that the other person is worth the fight. It's just a really beautiful and special thing. Would I do any of it differently knowing what I know now? Probably. I think we could have gotten to a healthier place in our relationship a lot faster if I had certain realizations sooner. We both came from places of trauma, really. I'm disabled and he has his own bucket of worms. It was difficult for us to make it work. But when two people decide to make a commitment and actually follow through with that commitment, it can be done. I think the bubster is awake. I'm gonna finish this. The next logical step. Well, hi, Pickle. My cat, Pickle. Oh, he's definitely up. Would be a ring, because obviously, bare hand. I have this ring that I found for $4 at my local thrift store, and it's real silver. That was more me marrying myself. I'm not the type of person who would ever force a marriage on someone or even force an engagement or beg or plea. And that's probably why it's taken 4 years, because he's not really the initiative type. Like, I'm the one who's, let's do this, let's do that, let's go here, and making the plans for all of that. So I hope soon or one day he proposes. I mean, we have a kid together. I don't think we're, breaking up anytime soon. So good. I almost want to have another piece. But it's so rich, it's so sweet. But I love it. He's definitely up. You say hi to the people? Hello, people. Anyways, thank you for watching if you made it this far, and even if you didn't, thanks for watching. I'm sending out a thanks telepathically to the people who didn't watch this far. I'll see you again. I'm planning on posting on Wednesdays, so hopefully we can get a consistent schedule going with this. Yeah. Peace.